Welcome back to NATOR'S Game Picks, ladies and gentlemen. Week 16, looking ahead right here. Week 15 in the books. Quick recap: I went 12-4, one of my best weeks yet. 12-4. So yeah, we got 4 games wrong. Games I got wrong: I got the Commanders over the Jets wrong. I got the Chiefs over the Raiders wrong. I also got a couple more games wrong, but overall, it went good. It went good. One of my best weeks yet. Brings my overall to 137 and 103. 137 picks right, 103 wrong. Week 16, week 17. Usually this is the last week of the season, but we got 18 weeks of football now, so this is the second to last week of the season. Still getting that playoff picture coming in, so we'll go ahead and break it down and let's see what we got for week 16 in stores for you guys. Here comes the. All right. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's time to continue on to New Year's. Let's go ahead and start off with the Thursday night matchup here. The Jets at the Browns. Jets beat the Commanders with a Trevor Siemian as their quarterback. That defense was getting scored on later in the game. The Browns here, 10-5. Another great win. Beat the Texans on the road. They are now coming home. Joe Flacco, 38 years old, but the one thing AFC teams don't want to see is Joe Flacco make it to the playoffs, because he has been. Last time he made it to the playoffs, he was I think he led the Ravens to the Super Bowl and was the Super Bowl MVP. So he has credentials under his belt. Thursday night game. I think the Cleveland wins this game and locks their spot for the playoffs. So they have to play a very clean game here, because the Jets defense can get after you. I think the Browns win here 20-17. Now on Saturday night, on the New Year's, not New Year's, Saturday night, football. It's the Monday night version, because there's no Monday night this week. Lions at the Cowboys. And I'll keep this short and sweet. Cowboys lost last week, had missed opportunities. Lions here coming into this game, top 2 rushing team. Jared Goff, passer over 100 passer rating. Amon-Ra St. Brown looking very dynamic. Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs both making cases for Rookie of the Year. And but they do have the 23rd ranked defense. This is where I think Dallas can take advantage of them. And the Cowboys have to defend their home win streak as they're trying to push that to 15 in a row. It's their last home game of the regular season. I think this would be a good game. Can't wait to enjoy that on Saturday night before we get to Sunday slate games. My prediction here is Cowboys do defend home turf, but the Lions on a very good Lions team. It's going to be a good football game here. I think the Cowboys win 38-34. Moving on, now we got the Sunday slate of games, divisional matchup here. Titans at the Texans. This is going to be a tricky game. I think C.J. Stroud comes back from injury this game. I think the Titans are going to try to establish running Derrick Henry. This looks like to be his last year, so they're going to give him the ball as much as they can. I think the Texans can stop him, though. They haven't been able to a lot before, but so far this year, the Texans have a bend but don't break. Playing better defense under DeMeco Ryans, although they've been giving up a lot through the air. So look for Will Levis to take advantage of some mismatches if you can get him with Okonkwo and DeAndre Hopkins, Westbrook and Keenan maybe. And the Texans hopefully should have Stroud back. I think Nico Collins is back. He's been playing with their backups, Davis Mills, Devin Singletary. This is a game the Texans need, because the AFC South is coming to the race. The Titans are the only team that's eliminated from that division race. So the Texans need this game at home. I think they get it here, 23-20 over the Titans. But anything can happen. Now Falcons at the Bears. These two teams played, I believe, last year. The Falcons beat the Bears, and the game was in Atlanta. That's the game where Cordell Patterson had his 9th career kickoff return for a touchdown. This time around, the game is in Chicago. And Chicago's defense, looking like a top-tier defense, hitting their stride late in the season. Obviously, they're going to miss the playoffs. I have a lot of decisions to make in the offseason, whether to keep drafting the quarterback or not. So Justin Fields, every game is going to be big for Justin Fields and this Bears offense. I think they want to show what they can do against a good Falcons defense. Jesse Bates, case for All-Pro, and although their pass rush is still slow, they have played a lot better defense overall. Have the Falcons. So this will be a test for the Bears, and just as much as a test for the Falcons trying to get their running game as they're in the NFC South race. They need to keep up with the Buccaneers and Saints. So this is a game that is important for them. But on the road, and the Bears playing very well, defensively and overall football, I think the Bears win here at home, 26-17. Moving on now, we have the Dolphins at the Ravens, two of the arguably best teams in the AFC. Ravens are hosting them. Well, Dolphins coming off of a good team win over the Cowboys. Ravens dominating the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara on the past Monday Night Football. It's going to be a good game. I think the Ravens here, this could be a game where they feeling like they're high off their win, could potentially come out slow, but I don't see that happening. Their defense really played lights out, swarmed to the ball. Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, Kyle Hamilton making his case. Another all-pro safety, I would have him, Jesse Bates, and Antoine Winfield in that conversation. But I definitely see this game being another defensive game. The Dolphins' defense are also coming into their strides and taking advantage of mismatches along the line of scrimmage. I think Lamar manages this game well. I think Tua also. He's going to look for Tyreek Hill, but the Ravens are definitely going to bump and run coverage with him. I think they're going to get in his face and be physical. So I think the Dolphins here are going to try to rely more on their run to enable explosive plays. Same way with the Ravens. So this will be a fun game to watch. Probably the best game on Sunday slate of games. I got the Ravens winning at home 31-20, mainly because I see them holding on, not giving up any fair advantages to the Dolphins in critical moments of this game. So we can see we'll get to see what this looks like. I got the Ravens winning though. All right, now the Saints at the Buccaneers. These teams met early in the season. The Saints lost to the Bucs in the Superdome. So the Bucs here at home. I think this is going to be a gunslinger game. I think the Saints come out passing the ball, using their weapons. I think the Buccaneers also going to come out passing the ball. I'm not sure if Marshawn Lattimore's back healthy yet. I know him against Mike Evans he's the one cornerback in the whole league that manages to neutralize Evans most of the times they match up. So it's going to be interesting to look for that. But I think Chris Godwin here, Cade Otton, and Rashad White, who's showing to be a very valuable, decent part of that offense as an all-purpose back with receiving and rushing out the backfield. He's going to get a lot of touches. And Baker Mayfield seems more and more comfortable. That offensive line is giving him time against the Saints pass rush, who hasn't been the best this year. This should continue unless the Saints dial up some exotic blitzes. So we'll get to see. I think this will be a shootout thriller of a game. The Saints need to win this to be in the race. If the Buccaneers win it, I think they potentially clinch it. Obviously, they have to see how Week 17 works out. Both these teams are very much there for that NFC South division spot. So I think the Buccaneers come away with this one at home, 28-27 over the Saints. I have Patriots at the Bills, division game here. Bills at home. I think this one is another one of these division games that anything can happen. I can see the Bills turning the ball over 2-3 times. I can see the Patriots turning it over once or twice. But both defenses playing very hard, physical at the point of attack, both line scrimmages. I think both offensive lines here will kind of struggle a little bit. I think Josh Allen makes some good plays, but also makes some boneheaded plays, considering the Patriots and Bills are familiar with each other. They see each other twice a year. I can see this game being won by the Bills, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be an ugly win as they need to solidify their wild card spot for the AFC bracket side of the playoffs. Patriots already eliminated, so they're going to play spoiler. They're going to look to feed Ezekiel Elliott the ball, and Bailey Zappi has given that offense a little bit of a spark after they benched Mac Jones permanently. So I think the Bills here win by a field goal, 19-16. Cardinals at the Eagles. Cardinals are one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. Bottom, I think they're ranked 31st or 30th. And the Eagles, when they get away from the run, the Eagles put themselves in risk. So I think this is a game where they stick to the run. Obviously, the push Jalen Hurts into the end zone, but maybe DeAndre Swift goes over 125 yards in this game, just as much as Kenneth Gainwell getting some carries. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith have taken a lot of beatings over this tough last 4 games for them. So maybe they'll utilize them after establishing the run. I think they are able to do that against Arizona. And they have to defend the run against Arizona as they are one of the top rushing offenses. With James Conner, Kyler Murray. I don't know how aggressive they'll be, but either way it is, they need to the first team to score 30 points wins this game, I believe. And I think the Eagles will be the ones to do that. I think they win 31-23 in Philadelphia over the Cardinals. Panthers at Jaguars. The Jaguars have lost 4 straight games. The Panthers came off of a win last week. And I think the Panthers have a chance in this game. The game is in Jacksonville. Bryce Young, for the first time this in his career, threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns to DJ Chark. Looked a lot more explosive and was catching all of his passes. Adam Thielen still having a decent year. Obviously, you can argue whether or not he should be the number one receiver anymore, but he's doing his job, doing what he needs to do. It's not going to be explosive. It's not going to be a lot of yak, but I think they have a chance here. The Jacksonville defense have been torchable the last 3 weeks, giving up over 300 passing yards to multiple quarterbacks, not to the Ravens, but they gave up over 300 yards passing to Jake Browning, the game that started their losing streak, and to Joe Flacco for the Browns. So they have a lot to prove here. They're really in, some would say, in shambles. Baker Mayfield had his way with the Jaguars defense, Mike Evans torching them, and Chris Godwin. So we're going to see how the Jaguars respond. If they lose this game, they're pretty much out the playoffs, because this is against the worst team in the NFL record-wise. But coming off of a win and a belief that they have got some positive sightings out of their first-round pick in Bryce Young, this is going to be a game for them to wreck shop, throw out the trick books, dial up the plays that no one's seen yet. I think this game is a very dangerous one for the Jaguars. I do have them winning 29-24. However, this could be very much an upset, so be looking for that one. All right, we're going to go move on. The Raiders at the Colts. Raiders are on fire, playing under Antonio Pierce. Beat the Chiefs only by scoring without scoring an offensive touchdown, under 100 yards passing. They did run the ball, though, very well. The Colts have a better run defense than the Chiefs. I think the Colts here at home, they have to stay alive in that AFC South, with predictions of the Texans winning and the Jaguars beating the Panthers. I think the Colts have to win here. I think they do win at home, although the Raiders will not make it easy. They're playing inspired football, getting after the quarterback, swarming the ball. This is going to be a good one. I think the Colts barely win 21-20, staying alive in that AFC South race for the division title. All right, moving on to the Rams at the Giants. The Rams here, big win last week over the Saints on Thursday Night Football. They're looking to come into the postseason with a lot of momentum. They do face the Niners in the last game of the year. They're going to try to knock them on their butts. I think they have to win this game against the Giants. The Giants coming off of a tough loss against the Eagles, which they have to play again the next week. Coming for their last 2 games will be at home. I think the Rams come in here and get on top early, and then I think they spend the second half running the ball, milking the clock. Kyron Williams, obviously Puka Nacua putting on a Rookie of the Year candidate type numbers. 5th round pick out of BYU. Matthew Stafford is looking like his old self. The offense line is giving him time. They're opening up the pass with the run game. Really, everything's going well for the Rams. The Giants are just fighting for momentum. I think they'll keep Brian Daboll, their coach, going into next year. They need to end the year with some momentum. So they need to come out and match the Rams' intensity, which they will come out and do. But in the end, I do see the Rams winning here 28-19 over the Giants in New York. All right, and then the 49ers go visit the Commanders, the Washington Commanders, who had benched Sam Howell again, 2 straight games. Not like, obviously he started the game, but benched him by the second half. Jacoby Brissett, a veteran, came in and made plays. This should be the game where they start Brissett. I think the Niners defense is torchable. If the Commanders can give Brissett time, I think he can pass for 2 or 3 touchdowns, and they can put up a fight. But obviously, the Niners are going to be upset from losing to the Ravens at home. They're going to come out, reestablish their confidence by dominating the line of scrimmage and trying to have their playmakers on offense trying to give a touchdown to each of their positions. 1 for the fullback, 1 for the running back, 1 for the receivers, 2 for the receivers. So I think that's how they're going to come out. So the Commanders defense obviously don't have very little pass rush, allowing the most passing yards in the league. It's going to be tough for them to even match that unless they come out with their hair on fire. So I see the Niners winning here on the road 35-17 over the Commanders. Steelers at Seahawks. Seahawks need this game as well as the Steelers. This is going to be one of a very tough game. I think the Seahawks match up well against the secondary. So we're going to see how this works. Steelers at the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks win this game. I think they win 33-30 at home. Bengals at the Chiefs. A preview of the former AFC Championship here. A little different though, as a lot of key players for the Chiefs are not there anymore. like such as Tyreek Hill from the previous matchups. And then we have the Bengals are missing their starting quarterback, Joe Burrow. Their Jake Browning had his first loss as a starter against the Steelers last week and then blowout. So I think coming into Arrowhead, the Chiefs already lost to the Raiders. Definitely coming back here, establish a run, and stay ahead of the chains. I think the Chiefs do come out with a win here, eliminating the Bengals from the AFC playoff picture race. And I think they do that here. They do that here as a team. Obviously, I think Mahomes has drawn a lot of attention. That's not good, but what better way to alleviate all that by a win? So I think they get the win here over the Bengals at home, 23-17. Now the Chargers at the Broncos, division game right here. Broncos just announced that they're bench Russell Wilson for the rest of the season. Jason Stidham will come in place for him. Chargers already been playing with their backup quarterback, Easton Stick, who actually looked decent in their loss to the Bills last week. I think they come in here and they upset the Broncos. This is going to be my upset alert of the week. Upset alert of the week right here. It's going to be the Broncos. I think the Chargers would. The Broncos can technically still alive for the playoffs, but a loss here will completely eliminate them, as they're going to need a lot of help even if they do win. I consider this an upset because the Broncos are at home and the Chargers obviously have a fired coach, almost upset the Bills, but I think they can upset the Broncos here because this is a division matchup. You never know what's going to happen. So I think the Chargers come into town and win 24-23, maybe on a last-second field goal. We'll see. And then finally, Sunday Night Football. As I mentioned, there's no Monday night. Packers at Vikings. They've played once earlier in the year. Packers and Vikings both need this game. Very important game. Divisional matchup. The Vikings with Nick Mullins threw for 400 yards against the Lions and a loss, but 3 interceptions as well. Justin Jefferson did all he could. Caught a massive pass on 3rd and 27 to get a first down. The Packers suspended Jair Alexander for a game, and that would be the ideal matchup is Jefferson on Alexander. So with that, with him being out, I think the Vikings have a chance, but I just don't see Nick Mullins. Obviously, a little sloppy feet in the pocket. I see him committing more mistakes than Jordan Love, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game. I think the team that commits the fewest turnovers is going to win this game, and I think that's the Packers. Although I think they're less favorable on the road against the stout Vikings rush defense. I was going to be interesting to see how Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon get established. But this secondary of the Vikings, although Brian Flores got them playing better, Jordan Love can find holes, and that's what they're going to have to rely on. Especially if their Packers defense is able to take the ball away. So I see the Packers winning here on the road, 30-21, eliminating the Vikings from the NFC playoff race. And that wraps up week 17. We'll see you guys on week 18. If you're still here, I love the love. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. You know, Dungeon of Doom is never going to go silent. I'll see you next time. Peace.
They should each get a piece.